experiences and things that we saw and heard. And if any of you were there and attended TESOL, we definitely would love to hear from you. Uh, and if you did not have the chance to attend, this is one of the reasons for this meeting, so that we can kind of catch you up and chat about what was going on for TESOL 2025. And so it looks like people are still coming in. So I'm just going to say a few words while that's happening. And then it looks like we may have enough people to do a couple of breakout groups. And we'll at that time give you some questions to discuss before we actually get into the meat of what we wanted to talk about for the conference. But the conference was, as you know, held in Long Beach, and it was a lovely venue. And I am used to the old conferences where there at times were like 9,000 people. And this one felt, it was smallish. They, I think, said they reached 3,000 people, but it felt a little bit more intimate, I would say. There were still plenty of sessions to attend, and that really also left a lot of time to meet with old friends and make new friends. And we were with, I spent a lot of time with Liz. We were together doing a lot of CPD things. And our meeting introducing our CPD group went very, very well, we felt. And so I think we were all, everyone who I spoke with there really enjoyed the conference this year because of those reasons, that it was a little smaller and you felt like you actually had time to talk to colleagues and to find out what's going on with them, despite what's happening in the world these days. The focus was on the positive and what people were doing and where we're headed and things like that. And the other thing I'll mention really quickly that I very much enjoyed was that the keynote speakers and even a lot of the speakers, there was a lot of diversity also included this year, which in the past wasn't always seen in particularly keynote speakers. So this one, I felt, there was a guy talking about hip hop and introducing hip hop, and he put on, it was really a spectacular keynote. And so I think that people got a lot out of the keynotes and also the sessions they went to. Before it looks like we have plenty of people to break into a few groups. So Liz, did you want to say anything in addition to?
No, I think you've covered it. The hip hop guy was amazing because he was connecting hip hop to the cultures from which hip hop comes, and not the usual, right? I mean, he went way back into really academic research on hip hop, looking at some of the African influences, the Native American, the fact that he uses hip hop in teaching, and I think his students are Native American in the US. So there's this whole thing about hegemony and I'm not a hip hop person, but boy, did he turn me on like a radio. I just thought he was so good and so different. Yeah. And we'll be talking in our groups about your experiences with professional development, because we've learned over time that our webinars are best when people talk to each other, because it is not we who have all the information. So each of us is going to go into a breakout room too, and we'll be talking about TESOL a little bit. Yeah. But we'd like to start with you getting to know each other a little bit more, and then who knows what can come of that. Webinars are limited in some ways, and then they offer us opportunities in other ways that we wouldn't have if people like Beatrix just stopped her car and drove through Hungary and got a chance to be with us. So grateful to people like Beatrice and everybody else who's come today. So Linda, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. So I think the main thing in the breakout rooms is, as Liz said, to kind of get to know each other a little bit, talk about where you're from and what you do. And then also talk about your professional development experience. What have you done in the past? And do you have any takeaways from that of what was really something that was interesting to you that you could take back to your classroom or back to share with your colleagues? And also including maybe what you would like to see in future professional development, because we in this group always like to hear those ideas and hear what it is from you, what it is you would like to see in professional development. So hopefully that's enough to get you started. And as Liz said, we will be in different groups and talk about our experiences. So
How long, Linda? How long?
I think about 15 minutes if we find that's a little bit too long, we can always all join back together again, but maybe 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So Lynn, are you able to go ahead and put us into small groups? I don't know how many people we have, but and I know that Judith said she's
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
be late, but she's coming. So
Oh, Judy Wong is here for
Okay,
me. She's so great.
I
Hi, Judy.
have
yeah.
I currently have two groups, one led by each of you. Um, so each group has 7 people in it.
Great.
So I'm about to open the rooms.
Thank you.
I accidentally left the room. Sorry.
But I think it is the time to come back to the main room.
Yes, we're back in our main group. Sorry. So I guess 15 minutes wasn't even quite enough because we we wound up just getting, well, not even finishing hearing from everyone, I think, because there were more people join, which is great. And we're happy to have all of you. So I think maybe we can continue, maybe hear a little bit from groups and kinds of things you talked about. We mainly were introducing and hearing where people are from, which is a really big variety of places. We heard a lot from people in Africa and the wonderful work that's being done in Africa with TESOL and the affiliates and what's going on there. We have a couple of people from Armenia who talked about what they're doing there. One is from she's teaching children, and the other one is teaching in high school. So we really have a nice mixture of people joining us today. So Liz, how about your group?
Yeah, same thing. We had a couple people who were actually at TESOL, and those who plan to come, but the access programs of the U.S. government, of which they have been long time leaders, the programs were all canceled. It's my favorite program the U.S. government does. Extraordinary stuff. We can talk about that too, but I was sorry that some people couldn't come, and I'm glad we're doing this session that can maybe help make folks feel a little more connected to your colleagues around the world. Because as I think it was Beatrix who said, it's about the people. It's about the people. And that is so true, that it is almost nothing else. Yeah, you learn about AI, and yeah, by the way, we have a fab PowerPoint from our presentation on a career path development that was really well attended. And we had fun. I think Catherine was there. We had tiaras and we had lots of fun. And there are photographs and the PowerPoint if upon request. You don't have to look at it. I did a session on DEI for a former student of mine who has a very big job now in a very big school district. So I've become more aware of ally issues and the need for allyship, they call it, in terms of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And the only thing I'm going to say about that is, okay, you don't like it. You don't like DEI. What do you like? The opposite of diversity, which would be, I guess, uniformity. You don't like equity. You want it to be inequity. You don't like inclusion, you like exclusion. Anyway, so that was really the presentation that my former student and his colleagues put together. Ethan Tran from Georgia, fabulous guy, and they wrote this really good book on the LGBTQ community and being an ally of that group. But that's just an example. I mean, there are other groups like those who get kind of screwed because oh, here comes somebody. Where is Lynn? Is she here? Oh yeah, there she is. Okay. I'm going to admit someone, Lynn, because I just saw this.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, there's so much more to say. We had a good time. We did a lot of socializing. I think we needed the therapy. Many of us are feeling very, very upset lately about the news every day. There was a sense for me, having gone to TESOLs for 38 years, that this one was more about social, psychosocial connections, which then the professional stuff came into it. I mean, I wrote a book. I did research on this topic of career path development. It's not, you know, kumbaya woo-woo. It's real. It's research. And I think the people who came got both the social and the psychological support they needed, and also information about things they might do after they got fired. Two of my friends, very high-powered people in the education department in the US, got fired during the TESOL week. So there they are at TESOL getting fired from their jobs. So it was really quite for me, it was an unusual TESOL, but thank you for listening.
Yeah, thanks, Liz. No, I think that whole idea that we talked about in our session of the body, mind, soul connection really, really applies right now to people struggling a bit, you know, and to take care of yourselves is one of the big things right now, because people are going through a lot. I would like to open it up to those of you who did attend TESOL to give us a little rundown on what you liked, what you saw, what was your experience, because this is not just all about us, it's about you, and we would like to hear from you. So would anyone like to talk a few minutes about what you saw and what happened for you at TESOL? You can just go ahead and talk or raise your hand. And
Patrice or Catherine, or who else was there? Linda, why don't one of you? We heard from Catherine in our little group, but the whole group did not hear. There's Beatrice. Go ahead, Beatrice.
Okay, right. It was very interesting because I went to a lot of AI sessions, and I heard a lot of good things, but there was not much new for me. I mean, yes, we try to keep up with the profession, and because of the new generation, we have to do also AI in our lessons. But what was very, very good for me, and I have never experienced that at any other conference, not even at big TESOL, is talking about personal issues that people recovered from traumas. And I'm not talking about the war in Ukraine or in Africa or other places, but social humiliation. And first I was very surprised. I went to this session and I thought I wanted to get some professional development thing, but then I was sitting there and the people were talking, sharing their experiences, how I don't know the word exactly, humiliated they were in certain professional contexts. And then talking about these in front of other people was so liberating for me. And I thought, yes, this is very important for us, because everybody shies away behind the curtain. And then this is also so important because we have our little problems in our professional context, and we never talk about them because we feel ashamed of bringing these issues up. And then that was something fantastic. The other thing I wanted to mention was the past president's question and answer talk, and also the AGM, how very cozy these occasions were. And then I just felt like we are all human beings. These are not kings and queens or in our profession, but human beings like you and me and the other person. And listening to their stories was just so heartwarming for me. I really love this very this bit of TESOL. So thank you, TESOL. There were a lot of good things in that.
Yeah, really kind of brilliant words, Beatrice, from you. Social humiliation. It doesn't land on my ears well, but it's really, I'm going to think about it. Social humiliation in professional
Yes, maybe
context.
there is another word maybe that
Yeah,
could
but that's a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Ashamed and cozy. These are
Yes.
words we don't usually hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these were more important to me than AI. To be honest. Yes.
Really?
Okay, thanks from me. That's all from me now.
Thank you, darling. Hi, Judith.
Thank you.
Judith is here from Kenya.
Hi. Hi, sorry,
Welcome, Judith.
I'm
Glad you
glad
could
I've made it finally.
attend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Judith
Judith,
is here. Sorry, go ahead.
Judith, we're just
Yeah.
talking about the sessions and about our experiences at TESOL this year. And I wondered if you would like to just say a few words about your experience at TESOL this year.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Sorry, my apologies to everybody for being late. We're having assembly and I had to do a part in it. Right, my TESOL experience this year was an amazing one. This time I went without much tension. I went to learn and to also relax, and I achieved all that. The presentations, I sat down and really concentrated on presentations, the few that I could. I had a chance to network and also to have chat with some of these friends who are here right now, and picked lessons that I'm using right now. I had a chance to also just get to know the place, the Long Beach place, and did a tour. So that for me, it was wholesome. You know, it was not that idea of just going very fast, listening, and then coming back, tension and all that. So I must say it was a learning experience for me. Anything negative to report? Nothing much. I think even everything that happened, including flight delays and everything, just worked well because I kept meeting people some who are former Teslas, and we had a chance to connect and go deeper with this networking for TESOL. And the best inspiration that it prepared me for the one we had right last week in our country. We had our LPAC, English Language for Professionals Association conference. Coming from that TESOL experience really opened my eyes to so many things. And even when I was presenting, I felt I was, of course, I can't be 100%, but I was much better because of the preparation I got from the TESOL experience. So during the presentation, the CPD presentation, it was beautiful networking. You know, we were flowing like a wheel. You know, everybody knows when to come in and to say and pick up from what the other has said. The presentation we did with with Liz and with Linda, and then one with
Julie.
With Julie, yes. It was so beautiful as, just representing the TESOL CPD and seeing people sitting in and finally telling us that when they were in our session, they felt like there was light. For me, I think that was the highlight. Because when somebody sees light, it means that there was some kind of darkness, but something has opened in their hearts and in their minds. So it's my appeal or prayer that this continues as we grow. And for those who are joining us, please always come, even for this tea party, for other meetings, come and join us. It's a fun place to grow. You will grow and things will change in terms of career. So let me stop there and say thank you for the privilege and for the opportunity.
Thank you,
Yes,
Judy.
welcome, Linda.
Bravo.
Yes.
Martin had a comment in the chat. I could look at it. Martin, do you want to add something about expectations at conferences and professional development?
Yeah, it's just a reflection there that if people go with a fixed mind that I'm going to get something, I've paid money, I will get, then they sometimes don't get what they want. But if they go with the intention of just being there, I think I was listening to Judith there, like, yeah, that's an example of just being. And then something flows, something greater than the individuals flows through us. And we get, on reflection, you do have to sit down and think about it afterwards. But my experience is if I let go of my expectations and just be there, stuff happens, really important things happen. An awakening, uplift, all kinds of positive stuff. Maybe not aware of it at the time. It's unpacking it when you get home and you realize just how much you've received. But you didn't have a checklist when you went. That was it.
Thank you.
Thank you. I see Fenya wanted to say something. Fenya?
Yes. I'm here. Hi, everyone, guys. Thank you for having us here. Yeah, I just left accidentally the breakout room. I don't know what happened. So anyway, guys, I had the privilege of attending TESOL 2025 in Long Beach. I'm from Armenia, and most of my friends just claimed it would be too, expensive for you. Don't go. But let me just say a thing. Let me confess a thing right after visiting. My expectations were totally met. I'm not just talking about the sessions because everything was great. And by the way, the presenters were kind enough to share most of their presentations, with us. And I quite liked that. And by the way, after that, I was a presenter in Sharjah University and I shared my presentation, with the attendees. Like I took their example. And let me talk about the workshop because no one spoke about it. The workshop also was amazing. I returned to Armenia, with 2 bags, having lots of information, papers, handouts, I don't know, everything, and books. So it was just amazing and insightful opportunity, I guess. Thank you.
Great, Fenya. You're getting around, girl.
Yeah, I hope to be there next year with more Armenian speeches. Yeah,
Great.
that's it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Fenya. So who else? Anyone else would like to say a few words? Judy, how about you? Judy Wang, were you at TESOL and
No,
would you
I
like
didn't
to?
make it this year because I was planning on it because I figured it's California, I could easily get there. But I was busy attending my son's PhD defense. So and of course all my children in LA around Long Beach, they all flew east to support their big brother. So I was like, well, I guess I'm staying east. No, but I was going to say to, some of you, it's heartfelt and heartening to hear that we were addressing the social psychological issues of teachers right now, especially in the times that we're living in. As some of you know, I am retired as a professor, but I am not retired as a human. And so I still work with in a literacy program with children in a local school, and they're all immigrants and refugees. So it's important. And as Beatrice was saying, This is a community. This is your family. And in a world where teachers are given so little respect, and especially if you are our age and you're being put out to pasture en masse, which is the most ridiculous thing on the planet, but we are. And then, of course, the schools are screaming and bloody murder that they have no teachers. Like, well, you morons, you just fired us all. It's like,
I like you morons. That's the best part of your comment.
really. But the thing is, as teachers, we are important. Education is what's going to save this world. And especially the fact that we happen to be international English educators is even more important, because we are of the world, not just of a local town or a local village, but we are of the world. And that is important, especially in a world like this, where it's getting smaller every day, not bigger. And so I charge all you younger teachers, have a lot of love and respect for who you are, because you are amazing human beings, fighting the good fight wherever the heck you're coming from. And that's important. That is so important. And TESOL is important because it's our family, because it's not just, the learning you're getting as an educator, but it's also the learning you're getting as a human, as a teacher. I mean, it blew my mind when I was a young teacher to know that out of every profession in the world, teachers have the highest suicide rate.
I didn't know that.
We do.
No, I didn't either.
Because we're the only profession almost never, I can't say never, but we are the one profession that almost never sees the fruits of our labors. So you teachers who teach young ones, yes, you fly through them a mile a minute, but the thing is, they make a difference. You make a difference.
Yeah.
And you have to believe in yourselves.
I want to lighten the load here. You're right, Judy, really. But George Kornpass wrote the coda for our co-edited book, where he said at the end of this book, and it's about COVID and English language teacher education during COVID. And one of the things he says is, and we have these tiaras that we bring to TESOL, everybody wears, and he says teachers are heroes without capes.
Yep.
So we brought 45 capes with us, and everybody was wearing them around TESOL. It was so lovely. Thanks.
But we are, that's the truth. We are the biggest heroes.
Yeah.
Remember, even the biggest and the most brilliant minds and brains came from a teacher somewhere. So that makes you important, really important. And
Mark, we're going to say something, honey.
go ahead, Martin. You have to unmute.
I know, amateur. I just wanted to echo what Judy was saying. Teachers are heroes. I don't think it can be said loud enough.
Yes.
And the morons let us go from schools. That is a stupid move, because we are now unfettered. Released from our boundaries, we now go global. And I'm thinking, flower head, seed. What did they do? They let us go. Okay, it could be hard if you've lost your job, I know. But Judy, education will save the world. You're right. Isn't that why they try and break it, the education system? Because they don't want us to be saved? And going back to what Liz said about uniformity and all the rest of it, we know what they want. They just let us go. Oh, silly move. We are now completely free to do exactly as we wish. And this looks like a great place to be. Thanks, Lizzie, for inviting me.
Thank you for coming, Martin. Yeah. I wrote to Kamala Harris every day during her campaign for president of the United States saying, please stop talking about, I don't know, Liz Cheney. Please talk about education. And she knows in her head, but she wasn't using this as a platform enough. I think the next president of the United States will have to do that.
Sorry, were you just putting yourself forward there?
Yeah. I don't care. I'm too old.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I
Thanks.
was feeling. I was like, you know what? I don't care. You let me go from the university. I'm still working with these elementary kids. I've been working with them for over 40 years, almost 50 years now. And it's like, who cares? I'm working on my terms, my way. I'm under nobody's control. And yeah, I bring to these children everything, because knowledge is power. And especially most of these kids are refugees or immigrant kids. So
Yeah.
knowledge is power, and they need the knowledge so they can go out and be better human beings,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. And it's the New York City, I mean, Judy lives in the middle of Manhattan, and she is really the face, I would say, of the United States, of which I'm a citizen. We're two countries now, by the way. And Judy does this work, I think, and correct me, Judy, but I think pretty much a volunteer.
Yep.
Working with kids who
I've
are,
been working with these kids for just on the site for 50 years because I felt it was really important
Mhm,
because the school system was ignoring them and it's not right.
mhm.
So I keep working with them. But the thing is, though, is that, they have to be global citizens because the world's getting smaller. It's not
Yeah.
getting bigger.
Yeah.
And the only way we could save them. And the truth is that, as younger teachers, we think we're not affecting anything. But the truth is we do. And I have to say, I am one of the lucky teachers who got to have an affirmation of the impact I had on students, because I had a young man who was like twice my size and enormous, 40 something years old, came running up to me on the street and went, teach. And I was like, okay, I'm getting older. You got to give me a little more hints. And he goes, it's me. And I'm like, okay, yeah, okay. He goes, well, you used to teach upstairs. I said, well, that was a really long time ago. I used to teach the preschool when preschool was still a concept that was a hippy dippy thing that they thought was not going to keep. But and this young man, he looked at me and he said, I want you to know, I remember everything you ever taught me.
Wow.
And the last time I saw this boy was 5 years, he was 5 years old. I was like, oh my God.
Great story, Judy. Thank
That's a fantastic story. Yeah,
So
thank
just
you.
remember, just because you think you're teachers and, kids come and go, every student is special. Every student is an individual. Every student is a human, like a beautiful flower that's unique. And you're the lighthouse, you're the one thing making them grow.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you for that insight, Judy. Always great to hear from you. I would like to hear if Mohammed is still here, Mohammed Ayaz, because he mentioned that he had put in proposals and was twice accepted, but so far has not been able to attend the conferences. I think maybe one time your funding was canceled. But would you like to say something, Mohammed, about that, or?
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks to Liz, Martin, all of you. Good evening from Pakistan. Yes, ma'am. We have talked about next year 2026 Utah convention in our previous meeting, and I was waiting for the next meeting with Linda.
Yes,
And
soon.
my co mentee Faith from Kenya. And ma'am, I have submitted you an email in which I have selected a topic. Inshallah, we will do that in a panel. And the topic is, if you approve that, sustaining global ELT, U.S. State Department's legacy and risks. So I have chosen this topic.
Yes. Wow, that I would say that sounds great. I will definitely take a look at what you sent, and we'll get together maybe next week to talk about it. Yeah, fantastic. Fantastic.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hopefully the next TESOL you will get to attend.
Could you
Inshallah,
repeat the
I
title?
hope.
What's the title, please, Mohammed? Please repeat.
Sustaining Global ELT, State Department's Legacy and Risks.
Thank you.
Because State Department has been doing a great job all over the world since 1951. And we had Axis program that is banned now. We have other exchange programs that is also banned for Pakistanis and some other countries. So I have selected this topic for the SDG 4, Sustainable Development Goals number 4, which is related to the education. So my focus is on that. And inshallah, we will do that collaboratively with Linda and my co-mentee, Faith from Kenya. So I have suggested them this topic. Let's see, Linda, what say about that?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, good. Hopefully that will happen for you next TESOL.
I hope for that.
All right. Anyone else would like to mention? It doesn't have to be about TESOL. It can be about professional development and what are your goals? What are your aspirations? What would you like to see in terms of professional development, or something, as I said, that you and another conference you attended? If you'd like to speak to that.
Hello.
Hello,
Great.
Tushale.
Yes, please. I didn't go to IATEFL, but I followed most of the
IATEFL?
I didn't travel, but I followed on YouTube.
Ah.
Yes, so it really gave me a lot of information on kinds of topics that if I'm placing a proposal for TESOL.
Oh, we're having, are you having trouble hearing her? I'm having trouble, Tushale, hearing you. Is there any way to talk into the mic or change a setting or something?
Is it better?
Right now a little,
Okay, so following IATEFL through their YouTube channel gave me a bad view of most of the kinds of topics that I write proposals. So I really hope after this webinar I will check TESOL to see some of the sessions that took place in Long Beach, so that when I'm preparing for the virtual convention and for 2026, I'll know kinds of topics. But
Grace, we can't hear you. Sorry.
We're losing your voice. You're coming in and out. I'm sorry. Maybe if it's not working, put something in the chat, or put it in the chat. Sorry.
Martin had a good idea. I wonder if you describe that program you just mentioned in a private message to me. You're muted. You're muted.
I know, I'm just going to find the button. Yes, what I mentioned was it's easy to create conferences like this these days. And one of the earliest things that I did was way back in 2009, where I put up a notice saying, conference meeting 9 o'clock, September the 9th, because it sounded good. And people called in from all over the world all day because 9 o'clock. And I suddenly realized that I tapped into a need for people in Australia, New Zealand, everywhere in the world to have a conversation about what are you doing regarding, in my case, coaching and education. And I'm thinking here that we don't need necessarily to use our flying miles. We can just dial in phone or this sort of thing. It's important that the connection is stable so we can hear each other, but you don't always have to see each other. And just thinking, oh, this is probably time for this sort of thing to come back, rather than going to Mohammed, was the other way around, going to TESOL should come to the mountain, or whatever I was trying to say there. Because we are excluding people who don't get funding for random reasons.
Yeah.
And that really pisses me off, because I see children not getting an education because of random reasons. They don't have enough money. Can we flatten the playing field just a little bit?
Yeah.
So
Great.
that was the connection there, that yeah, we're already doing it, but we can create our own conference, perhaps not every day, but maybe once a month.
That's kind of what we do, but your suggestion of a 24-hour, it's so cute. It's something that we haven't done.
Oh, that was purely accidental. I did say 9 o'clock, forgetting that people would read my message on the thing called the internet. This was back in 2009. I was quite new on the internet. But I ran the conference 3 years in a row with thousands of people all dialing in. And the cost was you had to give a presentation. So people would give a presentation, that was their fee, and then people would go to the presentation, and then they would be a host for the next one. You know, I'd just like to introduce my next partner here, and then it would basically take care of itself.
Yeah.
The last one I ran for three whole days, and I didn't stay awake for 3 days, obviously. But I did stay awake for the first one, 24 hours, yeah, online.
And I think Fenya had a question. I don't know if Fenya's still here.
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you. Yeah, because many teachers are getting interested in taking part in TESOL 2026, which is going to be held in Salt Lake City, if I'm not mistaken. Just you can give us a little advice. I mean, what to do in order to be selected. I mean, in order your proposal to be selected, if there are like some tips that you can share with us, if possible. I mean,
Sure. I mean, I've been reviewing for TESOL for years, and you know, they give you a lot of information on the website. So be sure you read through that. So often, it's not about the quality of the abstract so much as it is how many that they can take. You know, there's so many presentations at the same time, for better or worse. So the first thing is, Mohammed, don't feel bad if you aren't accepted, or, you know, somebody, I mean, this is just the way it is. If you are accepted and you can't go, that's the other problem, right? But as far as proposals are concerned, having it accepted is a big deal. TESOL takes about 20% of the proposals that are submitted. So if your proposal is accepted, that is something that you should tell your boss. That's very good news. And it doesn't always happen. It can be, you know, just be careful when you are preparing it, show it to your friends. Yeah, whether they're in your program, whether they're in your country or beyond, one of us is happy to look at your proposal and give you feedback. Take feedback, that's a big deal, of course. And really, I think, you know, it's really a chance. It's not a guarantee one way or the other. Oh, these are the 3 things that you must do and you'll get accepted. No way. That's not the way it works. So I'm sure my comments are absolutely useless, but I did want to make them. And
oh, thank you. They were quite useful. And the thing is that, yeah, people are really getting interested in applying, and I hope that your tips will help us. I always keep saying that TESOL in USA, it's quite a serious program. No matter you take part in it as an attendee or as a presenter, so like it means that you are advantaged. This is my opinion. This is the opinion that I have.
Yeah, and there's always IATEFL and the
Yeah.
IATEFL associates, you know, they have their conferences, and the TESOL affiliates. This year, Africa ELTA is this extraordinary new, relatively new association that is rocking that continent. There's so much going on there that I'm so proud of all these people who've worked so hard. And you know, our TESOL International incoming president is the first ever African to be president of TESOL. Yay!
Do they have virtual sessions as well? That is, can
They
people
have a
take?
virtual conference coming up. Yeah, TESOL has virtual conference. I should have told you this. I'm going to look it up and I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, because I guess more people will be involved.
We always have lots of opportunities for connection, learning, and education, not just in person, but online as well.
Guys, I'm sorry, did you talk about IA TEFL?
TESOL, yeah, that's both of them. Both, I'm a member of both
Yeah,
organizations
I'm
for
a
many
member as
years.
well.
And the thing is, we have on both sides, you know, the TESOL and the IATEFL, that there are many, not just in-person opportunities, but virtual opportunities to enrich your learning and connection. And listen, I know if you're a teacher in a very remote area, or if you're a teacher who is in, you know, struggling situations, it can feel like you're alone, but you're not. You have this whole family, and it is a global family. I still work with people literally across the globe. I still co-teach with other teachers across many countries, from New York all the way to Jakarta. So you are not alone in anything. But there's always lots of opportunities in both organizations. And I really encourage you to just get active. Just get active in it. Join one of the groups. Join one of the special interest groups, because that's the best way.
Thanks, Judy. Also, there's something in the chat from Prudence. Prudence, would you like to talk for a minute about what you put in the chat? No, maybe she's not there. But anyway, Prudence had talked about, she's an English teacher from Rwanda. You can all see that in the chat. And she's saying that people are struggling with learning English and would like some advice to help her to make the learners more interested in English. And I think a lot of this conversation is about, you know, what things you can do really by joining associations and by joining online. Even if you don't want to speak, you can join and listen in, you know. And these days, I think there's a lot. If you do have connection, you can do YouTube, you can do, you know, there's a lot of ways to connect with people and also find people who are struggling maybe with some of the same issues that you are, right? And Judy mentioned you're not alone, and this is a key point, I think, for teachers as well, to know that they can be connected. Yeah.
Prudence, I might suggest, as a member of TESOL, you join the Young Learners group, because you will get so many resources and so many suggestions. I could give you 100 of them right now, but we don't have time, because I've been working with kids forever. And but there are so many ways, and teaching them in a academic English manner is not one of them, to get the children to listen to you. But there are many, 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 many things you could do. There's things you could do with songs. There's things you could do with story. There's so many things you can do. But I would strongly suggest join the special interest group, the Young Learners one. That is like the perfect one for you to join, and you would get oodles, insane amount of advices and things to help you along, because there's tons. I mean, I way back in the dark ages, I even helped write some of the books that we made for the refugee camps for teachers, because they had no resources. So we made workbooks for them to give to their students. There's so many things you could do, so many things. It doesn't have to be a struggle. I'll give you a little hint. My sons all had to study either French or Spanish when they were kids. And my oldest son, he chose French over the Spanish because he thought the Spanish teacher was boring, but the French teacher had a puppet. And he thought the puppet was a hell of a lot more fun to learn. And he's great at French now. He is totally fluent, which is wonderful. But chose it because it had a puppet. There's many things and ways you can reach children. Children are children no matter what language they come from.
Yeah.
They are always children. And that's what we have to remember. They're children. I mean, I grew up speaking Ecuadorian Spanish. So like, go figure that one. But you know, I was a little pissed off. My son didn't want to learn Spanish, but he learned French. I know
Is he
French.
the one that just got the PhD?
No, he's the one who just launched the silly thing called the James Webb Telescope. Yeah, he was one of the senior members who had to sign off to launch.
Our kids you got going there. Hi, Aisha. I'm glad to see you.
Hi, Liz. Hi, Linda. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Aisha. Welcome.
Thank you.
So we are up on a little after the hour, but I am happy to stay on for a little bit longer. Maybe Liz, I don't know if you have time, but if anyone has any 5 more minutes, okay. If anyone has any burning questions, now is the time. Any questions, comments?
What a great group this has been. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, it really, I'm very also pleased with seeing so many familiar faces and new faces and people from all over just sharing their ideas and experiences. And it is, as we started out saying, you know, the world these days, it's kind of a tough place for teachers, and it's just the best to know that you have this community and that we are able to communicate online and to talk and to get advice and to give advice and to help each other out. I just love it. And thank you, Judy, to you too for your wisdom, sharing your wisdom with us.
I'm glad I was able to sneak in today. I was like, oh, I'm actually free. Prudence, what did you want to ask us? You got on mute, honey.
His hand up. Hi, Prudence.
Prudence.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you very much for giving me this time. I am Prudence from Rwanda. I am happy for advices you have given to me. It is very amazing, and I will do everything in order to go high. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My speech.
It's great to have you here, Prudence. Oh, here's Fenya again. She wants to come back in. We've had some challenges with technology, but we just roll with it. I love the way we roll with it. You know,
I was laughing because yesterday, all of Spain,
and Portugal,
France, Portugal, part of France, and part of Europe all lost their power. I was like, oh no. And then I wasn't sure about today coming in because I was told in my building that we were going to lose all internet from 9 to 12.
Oh,
I was like, oh, I can use my phone. The magic of modern technology. I was like, oh good, I can use my phone to get the internet.
Yeah, I think it's back in Spain and Portugal now. I hope so.
Is it? Oh, good.
Well, you know, we have to remember that if we rely too much on the technology, it's going to go some point. but we can't, but we're still teachers. What one of the things that was most amazing to me was when the Ukraine started getting bombed, and I had a friend who was a teacher who said, I'm not giving up on the children. I gathered whatever children I could find, whether they still had their families or not. And I took them into the subways to keep teaching them so that somewhere in their life there was some stability. That's what we are about. We are teachers. That makes us superheroes.
Inspiring. Thank you, Jude. Oh.
Okay, well, if no one has any further questions, I think we will wrap it up for today. And I would also like to thank Liz for being here, of course, and also Lynn for running the tech for us today. And thanks to all of you for joining. Beatrice joining from your car. And and people from all over joining us. So I hope it was fruitful for all of you. And please stay in touch. Follow us on Facebook. We'll have another webinar coming up next month, which will be posted pretty soon. So, okay. Thanks again for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you the next round.
Okay, thank you.
Good to see
Thank you
very much.
everybody.
It was
Thank
lovely
you.
seeing you and listening to you. Bye-bye. All the
Bye-bye.
best.
Good to see you,
Bye.
Beatrice.
Yes, good to see you too. And lots of love to Philip, Linda.
Yeah, good to see you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Have a great day or an evening, wherever you are.
Bye-bye now.
Thanks,
Bye,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Bye, Mohammed.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye, Mohammed. We'll talk
Thank you,
soon.
ma'am.
I'll send you an
Thank you,
email
ma'am.
later.
Thank you, ma'am. I will wait for. I'm waiting for that, ma'am. Thank you,
Okay,
Liz.
thank
Thank you, Lynn,
you.
Clark,
And it's very
Tina,
reliable.
everyone. Thank you very much from Pakistan.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Liz. Bye, Linda.
Hi, Judith. Thank you for coming in.
Bye-bye, Judith. Take care.
I'm glad I could. I'm glad I made it.
I'm glad you made it too. I should have taken a picture before. I'll take one now. One. One.
Oh,
Judith, are you coming back on?
let me see. I'm outside.
Okay, there you are.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Liz.
Thank you.
All right.
You look good there, Judith.
Everyone.
Great job, Linda. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Liz, as always.
Great. I think we had about
the door.
Such a nice group. Oh my God, I'm so happy.
Yeah, it was.